Okay, good morning. I think we're all here. All right. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Mr. Daniel. I'm the curator of the museum. And since we are discussing the question about AI and its relation to society and especially education, we thought it would, me and Mr. Cadu thought it would be a really good idea to call someone to talk about the subject. And today we have the pleasure of inviting Roberta Mellin, and I actually have to open a cheat sheet because, I mean, she's got so many qualities. I mean, she's a psychopedagogue, she's a screenwriter, journalist, professor, and speaker on technology and its effects in society. So I would like you all to please give a big welcome, and we will be opening up a form for you guys to either answer via the form or over here with the microphone after her presentation. All right? Thanks, guys.
Hi, everyone. I'm really glad to be here. I'm Roberta. Everybody calls me Beta. I love to study. I've been studying about the effects of technology since my first daughter was born. I have two daughters. One is 13 years old. The other one is 11 years old. I must say my English is always a work in progress, so be kind to me. And Mr. Cadu and Mr. Daniel, they invited me here today to talk about AI and education. So to talk about it, I think we should take a journey back to the early days of the internet. So when it was called Web 1, it was the read-only web. Was a time, actually the internet, the beginning of the internet, it was in the 70s, okay? But for us, for the main public, it arrived now, like in the 90s. And I was studying journalism at the time at PUC University. And I remember that we used to have like an email for the whole family. You didn't have like your email. You'd have like a family email. And I could see, like, for example, my brother's email. And it was like the read-only web. You would go there to search for information, to search about news and sports, and you wouldn't sell anything yet. And because you needed a web designer to create a web page, which was like expensive and very technical. But now we are at the social web. The social web is everyone can produce content. I am a content producer myself, because I have an Instagram account where I talk about digital education, technology. I don't know if any of you guys are content creators, if you have a YouTube channel or an Instagram that it's open to anyone. Raise your hands if you are a content creator. Anyone? Just you? Yes. And he? Okay, we have few. Okay, but in the web 2, you can't control your data, which means like you don't know what they do with your information. Okay, they can take it and they can sell it sometimes. They can you don't have the control of it. But we are in a transition now to the Web 3, where we are almost there. We are already there, but not there yet. It's like we are in this transition. Because, it's about Web 3. It's about decentralization, privacy, security, and machine learning, which is AI. Let me explain to you. And they use blockchain technology, which is the same technology they use for Bitcoin, for example. So the Web 3 is, for example, if you play a game online, if you like to play an online game, it's going to be yours. If you want to sell it to a friend, you can do it, which is going to be great. Or if you have a character in this game and it has a cool outfit and your friend likes it, you can sell the outfit. So it's going to be about ownership. You're going to own your things in the web. So, for example, and it's going to affect the real world, the physical world, because everything here is real. But the physical world, for example, if you want to sell a house or sell a car, nowadays it's kind of, you have a bureaucracy, a lot of papers, you have to talk to the government, and using this blockchain technology, you won't need this. The notary office, it's going to, the cartórios that we call in Portuguese, it's going to end, which is going to be great, I think, you know. So, as I was saying, AI has been around for a while, and in 1997, Garry Kasparov, he was a chess player, and he was unbeatable at the time. No one could beat him, but a IBM machine, it's called Deep Blue, beat him. And he was super upset at the time, but nowadays, I can tell you, he's really happy because he's talking about AI and how can we are humans, we are resilient and we can, you know, find a way to be in peace with it, you know, to work and we have so many creative ways to deal with life, to deal with adversity. So we're going to talk about it later. So all technology destroys jobs before creating new ones. It means like during the Industrial Revolution, everybody was like, oh my gosh, we're going to lose our jobs to the machines. But we are resilient. We are creative. And what we did, we build not other jobs. We create our other jobs, new jobs. So, but what is AI? So AI is a computer system that can learn and make decisions independently. It can do this by analyzing data and recognizing patterns or by using algorithms to make decisions. So it can think. This is the big deal about AI. And it can make decisions like us, humans. And the algorithms, when they work together, it's super powerful because algorithms, they are typically used to sort data or find the shortest path between 2 points. So for example, if you want to go to a friend's house, you're not going to walk down the street to trying to find the house. You need directions. You need the shortest path between 2 points, your friend's house and your house. And that's what algorithms do. A more practical example. I was reading the other day about this guy that he bought this smartwatch and he loved his smartwatch. So he bought one for his wife and they used to run together, you know. And he was like, wow, I think your heart rate is not working. I mean, it's not right. He was saying to his wife, like, mine is always like this, and yours, it's super different from mine. It's not possible. I know you don't have a heart disease or anything like this. So he called the customer service to know what was going on. So he was like, I think my wife's watch is broken. And the guy, he came to him and he said, oh, are you sure she's not pregnant? Could you please make a pregnancy test? And she bought a pregnancy test, and she was pregnant. So the company knew before him that she was pregnant. And this is precious information, because with it, you can buy. She can buy, no? She's a potential consumer, so they can sell to her family, like ointments, I don't know, baby clothes. They can buy, you know, they can sell a lot of stuff to diapers. So this is what happens when, you know, AI and the algorithms, they work together. They can track us, you know. So, but as you're gonna see with Mr. Daniel, that AI, it's not ever right. Sometimes it makes mistakes, you know. We know that. I mean, how many of you have used ChatGPT or Bard here? Raise your hand. Whoa, I expect much more.
Come on, guys.
Really?
We're not judging.
You don't use? I mean, I use it like every day. You don't? I'm really surprised. Okay. Okay, I trust them. So I want to share with you guys 3 situations where AI was wrong. The first one is the lawyer story. I don't know if you ever heard about it, But there's this lawyer and his client, he was suing Avianca, you know, the airline company, because the metal card inside the plane, it hit his knee. And he was like, okay, he asked ChatGPT, give me 3 similar cases that it happened. And the person won the case. And ChatGPT gave to him. And he went to the judge, and he said, okay, the judge said, why you want to sue this company because the metal card hit you? I mean, it happens all the time. They're not gonna pay for you because of it. And he said, no, but I have 3 similar cases. And they start to looking for it. It happened, like ChatGPT was wrong. He invented this case. It didn't happen, ever. But he was a lawyer. He was in front of the judge. Can you imagine the reputation? He's been a lawyer for 30 years. And he's in all the newspapers. I mean, you gotta be careful with it. The other situation that I think I'd like to share with you guys, it's the facial recognition software. So this girl, she was an MIT student, and she was building this mirror using this facial recognition software. And she was building this mirror that you'd go there, and the mirror would say like nice words, like greeting, like hi, have a good morning, and it would put like facial filter on the person, you know, like Snapchat with, you know, funny ears or, you know, I don't know, a funny nose. And she was testing it, and it worked with all her colleagues but her. And she was like, why this is not working with me? Why, when I looked into the mirror, it doesn't work? And it works with all my colleagues. Can you guess why? Any guess? No? Because she's black. That's why. And the software, they didn't, you know, like when they were building it, they didn't, because, you know, AI, it's fed by us, fed by our input, like everything that, like, for example, how a machine knows a dog is a dog. Because you send to them, like, to it, like dog faces, and like us, they learn it. It learns. So that's what happened. They didn't show to the software a black face, so it didn't know. And now she created these algorithms, Justice League. It's a website that you can go there, and you can report if it has a bias. Okay. And the other situation that I think I would like to share with you guys, students and professors here, it was like some students, they were falsely accused by their professor of plagiarism because he was trying to use, but you know, Mr. Cadu, he was just telling me that nowadays they have this new machine that it can figure out if it is a AI paperwork. But at this time, he was trying to use ChatGPT to discover it to him. So he asked ChatGPT, those works, they are made by AI, and ChatGPT said, yes, it was, but it wasn't. So, but those students, they were graduating at the university, so it was really important to them. And he sent emails to all the students saying that they were not going to be able to graduate. And then this girl, she did her job, her paperwork at the Google Docs, and she had the step-by-step saved, which was really good, so she could prove. And then the professor, he apologized. But it happens, you know. Just for us to know that AI, it's not always right. We need to do our job as well. We need to double check. Like, for example, this lawyer, you see what happened to him. It's huge. I mean, look at what happened with the reputation that he has been building since he was young. So we can use AI to enhance HI, which is human intelligence. What I want you guys to hear, to discuss, it is about it. Like, we can use AI to enhance our human intelligence, not to substitute our human intelligence, not to think for us. You know, I don't want to prepare, I'm not here to prepare you guys for the future. Okay, I'm here because I want you guys in this school to be the future, to be building the future. Not to be there like, oh, what the future has for me, you know? It's not like this. So you can use AI to enhance it, not to do your job for you. Okay? But we have to think, all the educators here, we have to think like, if we educate people for what AI does well, you are just preparing them to lose to AI, you know? So how can we do it? What should we do? For me, the answer is be human. Be yourself. I mean, we can meditate. We can feel. We can love. And all of this in a free manner, you know, because the machine, the AI, you have to ask it to do something, yes. Okay, but you have to ask it. So you were free to choose, to make your choices. And we can use our intelligence in many different ways. Think about it. You guys, you are human. We have this superpower. A machine can never, ever be human. I don't know if a machine can ever feel the love. You know, the love, when we are in love, it's so good. It's like how our body knows that we are in love. It is different, you know. A machine can tell you, like, for example, I was reading the other day, a machine told the New York newspaper reporter, she was like, I'm in love with you. Is she? I mean, you know? And he was like, I'm married. And she said, but you don't love her. It's true. And he said, no, I do love my wife. So, you know, it's like, it's different to be human. So, the reflections that I want you guys to do about AI and education is, we need to change what are we educating people for. So I want you guys to participate today, because I want you guys to think about it. For what we are being educated? How are we humanizing our class as teachers and as students? We are not robots. I mean, I hope not. You're not becoming one. And prepare kids for what AI can do. Handwriting exercises, because handwriting exercises, people are talking about it because it connects a part of your brain that it doesn't connect when you're typing. It's different. And you have more time to think about it, to think about what are you doing. You know, it's different. So they're thinking about handwriting exercises. And ethics. We need to talk about it. As I was saying, are you going to use AI, ChatGPT, Bard, to do your job? Or are you going to use AI as a helper? Because it can be good for our work or for our... Because, you know, when you are at school, you are supposed to think. You're supposed to, you know, you can make mistakes here, which is great. You know, it's a safe environment. So you have to, you know, to think about how you are going to use your time here. Then to be prepared for the future, you know. Because if you were cheating, if you were always, you know, copying your paperwork, whatever you have to do, it's like, is it fair? Are you is it learning? You know, are you going to be doing great in a SAT and in exams? So use AI as a helper. This is a good tip. Like, for example, I was talking to Mr. Kadu, and he was telling me that he uses AI a lot, but as a helper, so he can waste. He doesn't waste his time on mechanical, you know, things to do. So education, it's about to be more personal. Because, for example, the last TCC that I did, I had to talk about my childhood. So I had to do a parallel with the subject and my childhood, which I think it's going to happen with you guys. Even when you were doing SAT. SAT are going to change, and the exams are going to change. Because we are not, school it's not about memorize anymore. It is about to think. It is about to know how to deal with your peers. You know, it's about to have the soft skills, you know, social emotional learning. You think this is not important, but it is. It is super important to know how to deal with your peers. For example, the other day I was at the Web Summit, and this CEO, he was the CEO of Singularity, which is a tech company, and he was saying that he hired this guy, and he was super smart, and he was super technical, and he knew how to do his job, but he didn't know how to handle with the peers, how to communicate what he wanted in a good manner with their colleagues at work. So he was like, he had to fire the guy, and he was like, I'd rather hire someone who is good with people, you know, and it's not that good technically, but I can teach them that, then hire someone who is super great but doesn't know how to deal with people. So think about it. These soft skills that we call, it's super important these days. It's no joke. So we have to think how to be creative, how to be critical, what it takes to be human. This is the questions that I want you guys to answer, okay? So what is next? This is a picture of the South by Southwest. I don't know if you know, it's a huge event in Texas. It's a tech event. They talk, and it's a music. It's an art event in Texas. And they were saying in these pictures from this event, it's like next is human power. So this is what they are saying. It's resilience. It's how can we be creative? How can we think? Like how can we like in the old times in the Industrial Revolution we changed it. Like we invented new. We were creative. We invented new jobs. We invented a new life. So we are resilient. And simplicity, you know, it's all about being connected with nature, with humanity, with who you are, you know. So that's it. Well, I think now we can get together and talk about it a little bit.
Okay. We're opening now the floor for you guys for your questions, your observations. We're also going to put up a QR code so you guys can scan and use a Google form if you want to. But what we really want to make it clear to you guys, and that's why we're asking you to come here, is that learning is a partnership. You might not think of it this way, but it is a partnership between students and teachers. And we are now at a crossroads with this new technology where we don't have the answers. And we don't have all the answers, we have ideas. But it is a critical moment where we ask students, hey, what do you think? I mean, here we have this generative material that can make stuff for you. And what are you going to do about it? And how are you going to learn with it? Okay? So, do we have questions? All right.
So basically I wanted to ask about the part about like AI as being a helping tool, and like where do you think the line stands between like if you're using AI to help you with something and you're using AI to do your work for something. So for example, my dad, he does contract work for a lot of like big oil companies, right? He's a contractor. And English is a second language, but he's doing international work now, so he mostly speaks in English there, but it's still his second language. So when he goes to do written work, usually what he does is he writes a portion of text, and then he asks the AI to translate it and like just proofread and stuff like that. And
It is a helper. That's good.
yeah, but I would also think that, like, well, you know, he could be learning how to write better in English in his own words, but instead he's using this AI to sort of do the work for him, and also like some other stuff in relationship to, like, you know, just general proofreading. Sometimes goes over legal documents over with the AI, and you know, where do you think the ethical, or maybe not ethical, just practical line stands between like AI as a tool and AI as the thing that you're using to do your job?
Yeah, I think the way your father is using it, it's valid. I mean, it's a helper. You know, he can in parallel improve his English, like I'm doing here. You know, like it's not my first language, and I wanted to improve it. But sometimes when I have to send an email, I ask ChatGPT if everything is correct. I think it's fine to do it. You know, I'm doing my job. He's doing his job. This is the important part. He's doing his job. So, and for example, here I have this Camigo. I don't know if you ever heard about it. It's a AI tool that it helps students and teachers to tutoring. So, because there is the good players and the bad players in AI, okay? So, for example, Camigo, teachers, they can use it as a tutor. And for example, if the student asks Camigo, what is the answer for this question? Camigo won't tell you the answer. Camigo, it's going to make you think about how can you get to the answer. Okay, so it's different, because sometimes ChatGPT or Bard, it gives you the answer immediately. This is not cool. I think this is the limit, you know. So if you use the right tools, it can be helpful. You know, if you use Camigo, for example, if you want to learn, you're gonna learn. You know, so this is, I think it's the difference.
Let me just step in really quick, Marco. You got to focus on two things. First is, what is the real use for him at the moment, right? Is he looking to get his English better, or does he want to actually get the contracts written in English so that other people can understand? Yeah, right. So he wants to get his job done. He's not doing anything unethical, right? So I think he's following a nice step. What we need to understand is that AI is such a new thing. How many of you here, just raise your hand, are aware of President Biden's address to AI? Right. How long was that? It was 2 days ago. He was talking about AI to the Congress. So it's a brand new thing, right? We're still discussing it. So he's actually addressing the American people on how to use AI, and this was just 2 days ago. This is very, very recent. So I guess we're, you know, like Roberta said, we're parting from a place where we need to be ethical at first, and that's what he's doing, right?
Yeah, it's all about regulation, as he was saying. But you know, technology, it goes so fast that it's unfair. You know, how can you regulate it? Something that it's super new, no one knows how it works properly. So it's hard.
So my question is kind of similar to his. So could AI? Yeah, it's because he kind of already asked the question, but could AI be used as a search engine in school and doing like before summatives or something like that? Would that be okay?
I can go. Okay, so remember that you're in a school, and there are rules, right? So you're actually 11th grade? 9th? Okay, so whenever you're 9th, 10th, 11th, high school, right? You got to follow the IB rules. So have you ever seen the IB statement on AI? It's a good thing for you to read. You're allowed to use it in an ethical way. Yeah, so it can help you, like Roberta was saying. It will be your helper. It won't. Don't use it to think for you, right? But yes, you're allowed, according to the IB, to use AI. So think about the ethical ways you can use it within the school grounds.
May I just add that you are allowed to use it as long as you cite the fact that you used AI and what part you used it.
Yeah, you always tell that you're using AI. I was talking to the art teacher, and she was saying that, like, she was like, if you, even with arts, if you're using it, you can use it, but cite it. You have to say, I'm using AI in this work. Okay, this is ethical. Oh, yeah, yeah, because in the...
So, for example, in the IB, you can use AI as a tool in part of your work, but you cannot ask AI to create a work for you, you know? So there are tools, Midjourney, that you can tell, you give the prompt and ask it to create a drawing, so and so. This you cannot do, you know, for the IB. But you can use parts of, like in a work. Today, for example, I had a student had make a sleeve disappear in a photo. She can use it, but she needs to cite that she used it to make the sleeve disappear in the photo. Okay?
If it is your drawing, then you can use it. You can take someone's job and use it, you know.
Hi. There's another thing also, not only about AI, but about Google. I just shared with my students a list of 70 examples that I do not want them using in TOK works. I teach theory of knowledge. Why is that? The moment you Google the question of a prompt, the question of an exhibition prompt, this will lead you to TOK sites. These TOK sites, they use these well-traveled examples. The student might think that, oh, I'm doing something original. I'm only picking up the example. Then I give my own version, my own analysis. Don't do that. Think for yourself. Try to have your own background, your own bunch of examples that you can use. I mean, you learn so many things in school. Use what you learn in school. The content is absolutely important because it's not only you Googling it. It's millions of students around the globe Googling the same thing. Like the moment you lose your creativity, and especially, that's my question for you. Do you think AI or machine learning, do you think they will reach the point of developing human intuition? Because it's in the plan. That's exactly what they're aiming at. I think the moment they do this, I think it's lost.
Yuval Harari, you know him, the philosopher, the Israeli. Yeah, he's a historian. Yeah. He's both actually, no. But he was saying that the moment AI gets a conscience, it's going to be a problem. He doesn't think so. I don't know actually. I don't have this answer. You know, we'll see. I don't know. It's so human, you know.
Can I just say it depends on the time gap. How long ahead are we looking at? Right? At some point, I believe it might, but that's me.
Okay, we have a question here.
So I have a question, but AI, they came to the point where they can do more than give answers, or until now we don't have a big alert. Until now, they can do only these things, or they can do more.
Oh, they can do more. Yeah, because they can combine data. So it's very powerful. It's like it can do more.
Can I give an example?
Oh, there are tons.
Yeah.
In my visits, I often cite this. How does it work? How does the ChatGPT work? It works with something called a large language model. It's like this huge library where it trains on how to get the answers what you're asking for. So, for example, I was with my dad. He's 82. And I asked him, hey, Dad, you want to see what ChatGPT is? And he's pretty good at Google by now. His obvious answer was, what's ChatGPT? So I sat him down, and I said, hey, look at this. And I asked ChatGPT, could you give me a list of instructions on how to change a car tire, but in Shakespearean style? So what did it do? It searched on its data set how to change a car tire. Lots of examples. It searched, well, what's Shakespeare? Oh, that's Shakespeare. Oh, he's Shakespeare. Oh, he wrote all this stuff. Looked at the styles, looked at all the things about Shakespeare, mixed them both up, and gave me an answer. And it started like this. Act 1, Scene 1. Oh, weary traveler. And it goes on and on and on, telling me how to change a car tire in a split second. That's pretty scary, and pretty wild.
Sebastian, on the other end, like very, very other end, they're using AI now to create medication. So with the help of AI, they're looking for new drugs to be created for the pharmaceutical companies. So it goes all the way from asking a simple text. to very complex things such as drugs and medications.
Such as protein folding, for example. That's another revolution that's happening right now. Wow, nobody else? Yeah.
I was listening to the news this morning, and there's a conference happening right now, and I wish I remember the name, about artificial intelligence. I know some major players are there, the creators of ChatGPT. I know that Elon Musk is planning on attending, some world leaders as well. And there's 2 points. One was that AI is better than humans at some things, like, for example, recognizing exactly where a tumor is developing in the patient's brain, recognizing, identifying, perhaps performing a microsurgery, which is very sensitive. So I think my question is, what are we better than artificial intelligence at doing? And what is artificial intelligence better than us at doing? That's a nice sort of thought.
Maybe I can give you an insight on that. Remember how artists used to make a living? They used to make portraits. That was their bread and butter. They would make portraits of people. But then came the camera, which rendered their work kind of useless. And what did the artists do? They reinvented how to see the world with all these artistic styles and expressions. So maybe we are now in a moment where we have a machine that, wow, gives us content, gives us creativity, gives us things that we have never thought about. But maybe we can also find a way of doing things that AI cannot. And that is something, to hope for.
Yeah. And for example, AI, it can write better than 90% of the population already. So it's like, it is good, it is intelligent. But I think we have this power. We are humans, we are resilient. We can do it.
Remember that it calculates the best possible answer. Sometimes it calculates wrong.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention, I feel that recently AI, certain aspects of it have been extremely, I don't know what the word would be, overhyped maybe, because, for example, when it can recreate text very well, but have you seen AI created images before? Yeah.
Lots of times.
Yeah, those images, you look at them at a glance, they seem normal because the way that it constructs it is just okay, you're looking at an image at a glance and it will seem somewhat accurate, but then if you look at it for 2 seconds, you'll notice it's all distorted in all these very creepy and weird ways, and it just feels like I feel like we're there at text, but not at images, and it feels like we're significantly far away from being
May I give you an example? At the exhibit, we're showcasing one of the artists, Forrest Eldonson. And last year, he won the Sony Photography Award with a very, very, very powerful image of a mother and her daughter. It was a moving image. And he accepted the prize. At the same time, he gave the prize back because he said this was AI generated. And it won the Sony Picture Award. And he did it on purpose. Exactly to question, hey, how are you guys, curators and art historians going to deal with this from now on? Because nobody saw that it was fake.
Was it
Fully AI generated. Oh, there's a prompt. Lots of prompts, actually.
Okay, I have a question. So is it possible for us to trick ChatGPT because
Yes,
it's supposed to follow a code of conduct and give us ethical answers? And I saw a video in which a guy created an alter ego for ChatGPT and asked him very unethical questions. And so is that true?
Yeah, it is true. For example, the other day I was this guy, he was asking ChatGPT, where am I? And ChatGPT said, I don't know, I can't say it because it's not supposed to know where we are. And then the guy came, oh, and where is the McDonald's, the closest McDonald's? And he was like, oh, it's in this street. And I was like, well, how do you know? If you don't know where am I? So, you know, we are training. When we are doing it, we are training the machine, you know, and it will learn the human tricks.
I have a question. So in terms of labor and production, wouldn't it be more efficient to have democracies in the workplace and co-ops where the workers can collectively regulate the use of AI, rather than having private enterprises where the CEO can simply fire workers and replace them with AI? In terms of labor and production, wouldn't it be more efficient to have democratic workplaces and worker unions and co-ops where the workers can regulate the use of AI, rather than having private enterprises where the CEO can simply fire the workers and replace them with AI?
No, the regulations, it's about to happen. They're suing Meta, for example, but I don't think like it's going to be private. It's not going to be private anymore. No, I don't think. I don't think so.
You want to actually to know if the workers can regulate the use of AI instead of the others.
In a cooperative.
Right.
Okay.
I think it's too early to go there yet.
I would ask, you know the famous saying, follow the money. So, what would a company like a big tech company want to do? Spend more, ethically, or maybe just spend less and quicker if just rely on AI? I'm hoping that your vision is what comes to fruition, but I'm guessing that people are going to think economically.
Sorry. Hi, who asked the question? Who? I can't see you. Oh, hi. I think this kind of AI, it was actually created to force workers to produce more, very fast. It unifies thinking, unifies, so to say, creativity, so it's behind this. You have the market, you have capitalism, you see? That's what it's striving for, production. You have to produce more, each time more and more. What you're aiming at is beautiful, but this is utopia. I don't think this will ever come, let's say, that we reverse actually the process. That's why it's so important that we talk about this. Because this can be very demeaning, let's say, to the human spirit, to what makes us humans, because it's all about how you use your imagination, your intuition, your own background, how you make connections. I mean, knowledge, it advances to this individual, specified connections, not by using this kind of a system. That's my opinion.
Can I say something? This is a great answer. Actually, because we learn in a different ways, Like, I don't know how life is it with you, So we learn differently, which is great,
I had a few questions about like what the future of AI. I heard that AI scripts like ChatGPT have to like use 3 gallons of water, like the server itself uses like 3 gallons of water equivalent for every 30 prompts it answers. And I mean it's a huge server, is it not? And it's a whole lot of materials cost, and code isn't free. So would it not be restrictive to how AI works and the advancement of AI just in simple materials cost alone?
Good question.
Remember Bitcoin? Bitcoin mining? So, no, I think we should make a shirt. Code is not free. Oh, that's a good quote, man. And I think we're going through a new gold rush in the sense of Bitcoin. I mean, during Bitcoin, people would just stack up hundreds, if not thousands of servers, mining at the same time. But now we're at a new gold rush to see who has the latest, best, and greatest AI chatbot. So I didn't know about that. 3 gallons of water to the prompt. Wow.
Well, they're making like different versions of like the ChatGPT scripts. Like there's one, but like they're mostly based off of ChatGPT itself and just kind of changing the code of it, but still using the same like general server.
It's the same because it's too expensive.
It's the same. And I mean it's run by. It was made by a few college students. I don't know.
OpenAI.
OpenAI. But it's run still by OpenAI
And
ChatGPT, yes.
yeah, if ChatGPT gets more like popular, it's gonna be used more, and OpenAI has to pay more, give more funding. But OpenAI currently is a pretty much free software. So at what point does like the growth of AI stagnate in just terms of materials cost and use?
But if you try ChatGPT 4, it's huge.
It's
No,
better.
the 4, the one that you pay for. Yeah, it's totally different.
It's like paying for Wikipedia. Nobody actually does it unless they use it specifically.
No,
for their
it's
job.
better.
I mean, it's better, but how it's like $10 a month.
Yeah, it's $20.
$20 a month.
Yeah, I know, but it's like it's much better than the ChatGPT 3. Yeah.
Using a lot more code.
Yeah, now we have Bard, now we have Bing, and a whole bunch of other. I mean, how long will it be until we all have our personal, bots?
Next year. On our phone.
Yeah? Or the Bard model, or the Bing model, or the. No, these are
No, but even the
different.
Bard model, they use ChatGPT. Yeah, because it's super expensive.
Go on, we want to hear you.
At what point is this conversation still useful? Because the reality is that AI is still developing, and that's not going to stop, right? There's a race going on. It's a gold rush. People love AI. AI is still going to be used. Whether there's a school ban, whether there's ethical implications, it's still going to be used. It's helpful. Jobs are helpful. Homework sucks, right? It's still going to be used, right? It's developing, right? Whether AI is taking over, whether we're going to develop new ways to shoot humankind into some winning way over AI, right? So the reality is that we can debate over these conversations and say we need to fear AI, or we can just put it to rest, not worry about it, and just say we need to learn to work with AI and get brunch.
This is interesting. You can go get brunch, but think about it. Think of GPT or them as a tool. Think of it as a tool. Right? You can use the hammer to hit the nails, or you can use the hammer to hit Mr. Daniel here. Don't do it. But it's a tool. Think about how to use it.
Embrace it. Embrace it. We should embrace it, but with ethical.
Merci.